The views and opinions expressed by the guests, callers, and hosts on this and all Rense Radio Network programs do not necessarily reflect or agree with those of the network, its commercial sponsors, its radio station affiliates, or internet broadcast platforms. In these controversial times, we believe the First Amendment and freedom of the press are absolutely essential to the survival of our nation. Thank you. And now, enjoy the program.
Okay, welcome back. Hope you had a really wonderful day yesterday. It came, it was here, and it's gone. Just like that. Same with New Year's, and then we'll be off and running into wild and wacky 2019. Believe me, if there has ever been a more auspicious resonance to a coming year in terms of unpleasantries, let's just leave it at that. I don't recall one. The Democrats, as you know, are going to go to war against Mr. Trump, and Trump will go to war against them. And we are going to be faced with essentially a 2-year campaign to the election, almost 2 full years of 2020. Over 30 Democrats, some say 32, some say 34, are expected to announce. We know who the Republican contender will be, but the Democrats are going to put on a freak show, the likes of which we probably have never seen before. So buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy night and ride for the next, 20 months? Something like that. All right. First up tonight, David John Oates and Christian Cadieux. We're going to take a look at some more of the infamous events in criminality through the eyes of reverse speech. And this is our third program, and they are really remarkable. And then later on tonight, in hour 3, David John Oates will come back to bring us this week's latest political reverse speech newsmakers. So let's find out if David is there first. Hello, David.
Hello. Yes, I am here, Jeff. Thanks to your wonderful Allison C. I got hit with a really nasty bug, and that Allison C pulled me right out of it in about a day or two. So there you go. So,
wow. Well, thank you. And it does. And again, I would ask all of you out there, not for me, but for you, to make sure you have a bottle or two, at least, in the medicine cabinet or wherever you keep your stuff with your supplements.
Absolutely.
Always have it on hand.
Yep, couldn't agree more. I was so glad I had it. So there we go. Anyway, but I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good.
That's it. We've got a very hot day today. It's currently 110 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Well, it's in the middle of summer. That's blazing. We're talking about, are we getting toward fire season there?
Oh, yeah, heavens, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Fortunately, I'm in a nice air-conditioned house, but I'm not going outside.
I've heard they can burn, too, so...
Yeah, well, that's true.
All right. And that sounds like Christian Cadieux is in the background. Christian, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello. How are you, Jeff?
Good, good. Welcome back. Hope you had a nice day yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, likewise. Likewise.
Very good. All right. So, this is our third criminality and reverse speech program, and it's a very interesting rollback of history is what it is. And these are famous and infamous cases. Tonight, David, tell us what we're going to look, or Christian, you tell us what we're going to, what's the subject of tonight's reverse speech analysis?
Well, you know what, Jeff? I thought there would be nothing more appropriate than to associate the holidays with a nice, relaxing gangster theme.
There you go.
Going back to the days of Carlo Gambino, John Gotti, Roy DeMeo, and even the likes of Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman, known as one of the most notorious serial killers of the 20th century, of course. And yeah, so tonight we're going to be taking a look at mobsters and hitmen such as Kuklinski and whatnot. But the criminality that surrounds these individuals and what lurks inside the mind, using reverse speech, of a mobster, of someone who has been born and raised in the American Cosa Nostra, and has surrounded themselves in this particular life. And our sources come from jailhouse recordings, and police interviews, and other means and other sources as well. But it's so interesting to see what makes these people tick inside to continue a life that goes against the norm of society, and to feel that this sense of entitlement to take what they want whenever they want and to do what they want to whomever. So yeah, tonight's show is going to be real cool.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. I like that expression, a sense of entitlement. This is going to be very enlightening. You mentioned Gotti. John Gotti, in a way, was representative, at least in the public eye, of the last of the gangsters, the big mobsters. We don't hear much about them anymore. They're there, but you don't hear anything about them. They used to be larger than life characters like John Gotti and going back to Gambino and so many others before. Lucky Luciano. Think about these people. All gone. You don't hear about it anymore. David, when you heard these, what was your reaction? How did you feel about hearing that?
Well, there's certainly different type of reversals than I get working in session work with clients, so it's a bit of a difference. I mean, like, let's take this classic example. Here's John Gotti. We'll start off with one on him. This is not the type of reversals I get on clients. Hang on, let me start that again.
Yeah.
The levels were too.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just up the levels a little bit more here. Okay, here we go.
Do you want us to cut his tongue out of his mouth? You don't have to tell him. You make your husband somebody tell him.
He know about it. Didn't do anything.
The woman would have been...
David, stop. Go back to the beginning, please. Who is speaking? Who said, do you want us to cut his tongue out of his mouth? Who was that?
Gotti. That's Gotti.
That's John Gotti.
Okay,
John Gotti.
And who is he talking to? Just extraneous people?
Talking to his daughter. Talking to his daughter, Victoria.
Okay, all right. So that's John Gotti talking to his daughter. Okay, all right. Let's do that again.
Okay, so here's the folds again.
Do you want us to cut his tongue out of his mouth? You don't have to tell him. You make your husband somebody tell him.
He know about it. Didn't do anything.
The woman would have been like this, and the kid would have...
Okay, okay, and he says, I miss the blood, give me blood.
Give me blood.
Wow.
That's almost monstrously evil. That is bizarre.
It's even, the reversal even has the Brooklyn accent. Sorry, the Bronx accent. I apologize. I mean, you could hear it. That's how it's congruent, and it's even consistent with his forward
Oh,
forward
that
Bronx
is
accent.
really bizarre. He wasn't play acting. This is who he was. This guy was a monster.
He wanted to cut out the guy's tongue.
Was this about somebody messing with his daughter, I guess?
Yeah, I guess so.
Jeez. Play that again, David, and take the level up even a little higher. If you can.
The levels. Okay, yeah, okay, here we go.
Do you want us to cut his tongue out of his mouth? You don't have to tell him. You make your husband somebody tell him.
You know about it. Didn't do anything.
The woman would have been like this, and the kid would have.
Okay, how's those levels?
That's good.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay, so here it is. I miss the blood. Give me blood.
Give me blood.
Wow.
Give me blood.
Wow.
Give me blood.
All I can say is
There's
wow.
no arguing with that. None. No.
No, clear as day. Clear as day. The rehearsal's obviously there.
His daughter said, "No, that wouldn't do any good. No, that wouldn't."
That's
Something like that. Don't cut his tongue out. Jeez. Wow.
You know, Jeff, you said something very interesting, that John Gotti was like the last of, the notorious American gangsters,
yeah.
the American mobsters, the Cosa Nostra from the Italians going back to Sicily. And you're right. He was like the last John Wayne of that era, of that particular, channel of trade, I guess, if you want to call it that. But, he was, hands down, he was the real deal, and he never rolled on anybody, unlike his right hand, his underboss, Sammy Gravano. But John Gotti maintained his level of loyalty, his omerta to the Cosa Nostra, and didn't roll for anybody at any given time while he was in jail. And, of course, he paid the ultimate price. He died in jail.
Yeah, no, he was known, for those of you who may not remember, as the man. He dressed immaculately. He had $5,000, $10,000 suits. I mean, the guy looked like, off the cover of GQ magazine. He just was an elegant dresser for a thug
he was
like this.
Yeah. Jeff, he made front page of Time magazine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, anyway, wild stuff.
Okay, so here we go. Here's
one quickie.
Yes.
Christian, did he die? I'm going to put quotes around this. A natural death in prison, or did they take him out in prison?
No, he died of. He died in prison of throat cancer.
That's what I remember, but I don't know if it was potentially given to him. We don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Good. Go on, David.
Okay. So here's the next one.
You ain't gonna be a baseball player or a basketball player.
Of course not.
Let me tell you something.
He's being smart today. There's something in him today.
Let me tell you something about that.
Oh, this is him with his daughter again, isn't it, Christian?
Yeah.
Here he says, "I see a demon."
Yes, demon.
Yeah, there it is.
They must have wired his house at some point. Where they got these, I don't know, but I would guess that they wired his residence or somewhere where they were meeting.
Yeah, they bugged one of the apartments above the social house where his headquarters was, and they also bugged his car. They got a wire in there, but these I believe these tapes are from the jailhouse when his grandson and his daughter came to visit him. So it was the recordings that was picked up. So he had no regard that they were recording him. He didn't care. And you know what the funny thing is, Jeff, is that everybody would think that the Dawn of Dawns, John Gotti, when he was in jail, was untouchable. Well, let me tell you, John Gotti got his butt kicked and smacked around by the Aryan Brotherhood. And those guys are you do not want to play games with that crew right there. But as big as John Gotti was, he still got slapped around in the joint on several occasions.
It doesn't sound like his influence ended when he was incarcerated either.
Yeah.
He still had control. He still had people to do. He was obviously still able to do things from prison, I would suggest. That's what I'm hearing. Do you want me to cut his tongue out? Suggests he still has tentacles.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, so these are all with his daughter and grandson then. Okay,
all right.
So here's an interesting one. Here we go, forwards.
All right, gentlemen, I don't need fans. I need people who rationale.
I need people who what? Who rationale? I don't need fingers. I need...
Play it again.
Okay, here we go.
All right, gentlemen, I don't need fans. I need people who rationale.
I don't need fingers.
Christian?
I don't need fingers.
He's saying,
I need people who will back me up.
No, he's saying I don't need. It's because his daughter Victoria was talking about that his number one fan is his grandson, and he's talking about I don't need fans. I need rationale.
He said fans sound like fingers. Play it again.
Okay, so here we go.
All right, gentlemen, I don't need fans. I need
Here's
people
this
who
fans.
rationale.
No, he's saying fingers. He said twice, I don't need fingers. Yeah, fingers put pressure on somebody with a finger.
Okay.
Listen to it again. I don't know what he's saying in the beginning, but then he says, I don't need fingers. It's clear. You can hear the G in there.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, I don't need fans. I need people who rationale.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay.
He said, I don't need fingers twice. Then he says, I need people who will back me up. Maybe. Let's try that one more time, David, and then we'll let it go. But he's definitely saying fingers.
Okay, all right.
All right, gentlemen, I don't need fans. I need people who rationale.
Rationale.
He's not saying rationale. He wouldn't use that word.
People who would rash it out?
That could be. Let's try it. When you finger somebody, you're rationing it out. You're dishing it out.
Oh,
let's see if that's what it is.
Okay, all right. So here we go.
All right, gentlemen, I don't need fans. I need people who rationale.
Close enough, Christian. Who will rash it out? I think that's probably what he said. Yeah, he's talking about applying pressure to people.
Yeah, well, a strange reversal. Feel lost there. Feel love.
Feel lost there. Feel love.
Feel love there. I seen love.
Feel lost there. I feel love. Feel lost there. Feel love.
Okay.
Feel lost there. Love.
Yeah, there it is.
Feel lost there. Feel love.
Well, he said, I seen love, but before that, it's pretty murky. The last thing he said is, I seen love. Before that...
Well, he's with his...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's with his daughter and grandson. Maybe this has thrown him off guard, because the next reversal says this.
Well, anyway, you have relatives. Most of your relatives are jealous. They jealous of each other. They don't even want to see each other do good.
And does the love worry?
Just love you.
I can't. What do you think he said?
Does the love worry? You don't hear that?
Let's try it again.
Okay.
Just love you.
It's not worry. It's like ready. There's an E in there. It's not all. It's Hear it?
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's ready. It's got an E sound. Dog does that. Those mobsters, they just can't speak well, can they? Doggone it.
I certainly can't. Well, yeah, here's a funny one. Here's a funny one.
too much of this. And I said, am I?
No, you should have said, listen, I'm doing this for your benefit, not for mine. My kids say, I laugh. To me, it's a joke. I'm so honored. But, you know, if it ever gets...
Here he says, I'm a fuckhead and I bore you.
Yeah, I'm a fuckhead and I bore you.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm a fuckhead and I bore you.
I'll be bothered.
I'm a fuckhead and I bore you.
It could be buy you rather than bore you. I'll do it again.
Yeah, I'm a fuckhead and I bore you.
No, it's bore.
Yeah, I'm a fuckhead.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
I'm a fuckhead and I bore you.
Well,
well, there he is. Here he is again. Same tape.
In high school, she's doing a time paper. She said, this has nothing to do with the mafia, and I damaged the guy. I won't insult you. This 15-year-old girl.
Something about a 15-year-old girl. What's he talking about?
A 15-year-old girl wrote him a letter. She wrote him a letter while he was while he was in jail, asking if she could interview him or correspond with him or something for a project for school or something to that effect.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll play it again.
In high school, she's doing a time paper. She said, this has nothing to do with the mafia, and I damaged the guy. I won't insult you. This 15-year-old girl.
Huh.
yeah, he's talking about her term paper. I got that. Okay.
And backwards, I gotta come with new mob. Huh. Don't know whether it's new mob, but certainly mob. Huh, wonder what it means by that.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, does he have to get more control in jail? I don't know. Possible. Alright, so here's the next one.
I got 1 million people who, if they could come here to see me now, they would cry just to be able to be here to see me.
I mean this, they mock a devil. Yep.
Well,
I
I
guess.
think he says, I mean this, do they mock the devil?
Ah, okay, I'll do that again. I mean this, did they mock the devil? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, right. Well, he's a devil, I guess. I see a demon.
That's what he's referring to himself. Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
How many years did he do in prison, Christian? Do you remember?
Oh, boy. Well, he died in 2002 at 61, and it was in Missouri.
Gee, he died young.
Yep. I don't off the top of my head. I can't.
Well, I'll look it up when we have to take a break here. We'll come right back. Listening to reversals of legendary, the last of the great mob figures, John Gotti. Back in a minute. Gotti earned between $5 and $20 million a year during his tenure as the Gambino family boss. His underboss, Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano, whom you heard Christian mention earlier, is credited with the FBI's success in finally convicting Gotti. In 1991, Gravano agreed to turn state's evidence against his boss and testify for the prosecution against Gotti after hearing his boss making several disparaging remarks about Sammy Gravano on a wiretap that implicated them both in several murders. So in 1992, Gotti was convicted of 5 murders: conspiracy to commit murder, racketeering, obstruction of justice, tax evasion, illegal gambling, extortion and racketeering, loan sharking. Sentenced to life in prison without. Transferred to the U.S. Penn, Marion in Southern Illinois. Died of throat cancer 2002, June 10th, in Springfield, Missouri.
So he did 7 years. Right?
Well, he was at the U.S. Medical Center for Federal Prisoners. Well, he went in, he was convicted in 1992, so did almost 10 years. Yeah. And from he would have been 52 when he went in. He died at 62 or thereabouts, 51 to 61. So he was at his peak. What the former Lucchese family crime boss, Anthony Gaspipe Cassel, said what John Gotti did was the beginning of the end of the Cosa Nostra. So they don't like him, some of them. Anyway, what a world. Okay, onward.
All right, let's move on. I just want to replay the reversal. I miss the blood, give me blood. I think that's a classic one, and then we'll move on to our next one. So this is the classic reversal. Here we go.
Do you want us to cut his tongue out of his mouth? You don't have to tell him. You make your husband somebody tell him.
He knew about it. Didn't do anything.
The woman would have been like this, and the kid would have.
And this reversal sums him up. I miss the blood, give me blood.
Give me blood.
There you go.
He missed the action, and what Christian said, that was recorded apparently during a visit in prison. So he missed it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So who's next? Kaczynski. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is definitely correct.
Fill us in on this guy, Christian.
All right. Okay, so Richard Kuklinski is known as the Iceman, and actually, there was a movie that came out with starring Michael Shannon as well as Winona Ryder, and it was all about the life of Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman. Now, he was maybe over 200 people. That he was a hitman, a contract killer for hire, and his claim to fame, his notoriety came because he would take the people that he killed and he would store them in a freezer in his little lockup warehouse that he had in order to prolong the decomposition stages of the death, and also as a forensic countermeasure, he did that to throw off when the exact time of death occurred.
Well, when you say discovered. Put them in the freezer, freeze them, that would not prolong to stall the decomposition, or he wanted to expedite it. You wouldn't freeze somebody; it'll slow the decomposition.
Yes, it will slow it down, the decomposition, when you put them in the freezer, which also acted as a countermeasure for any forensic personnel in order to determine the time of death and the approximate time of death. So he would freeze them and then cut them up, or freeze them and throw them in the East River. Or in other parts of, in other areas. But he was known as the Iceman because he would freeze his victims after he killed them.
Wow.
All
right. Well, here's a reversal that seems to sum the man up in one reversal. Here's the forwards.
And they go to sleep. No shit. As long as he's dead, that's the bottom line. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? No matter how it was done. I mean, I know guys that went to sleep and never woke up again. I mean,
Laugh.
Oh, my.
I'm here to make the trouble and abuse. That's what it says.
All right, you mean I get all over in the abuse.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you mean I get all over in the abuse.
No, he did. What did you say, Christian? He killed 200 people, we think?
It's estimated at over 200 because he was a contract killer and he was on contract with the Gambinos. All of the five families. Roy DeMeo, who was also part of the five families that did a tremendous amount of contract killing. But Richard Kuklinski was not Italian. He was a freelancer, but he was very good at what he did. Mm-hmm. In fact, he was so effective at what he did, he came up with he was one of the first people ever in recorded American history to take cyanide, put it into a spray bottle, all right? And he would go up to somebody and spray them in the face in a public area with liquid cyanide. Or he would be sitting at a club, the target would be at a bar, and he would put cyanide in his drink and in his own drink, and then walk up to the person and spill the drink that had cyanide in it, so it would fall on the individual, the target's leg. And then it would go, the liquid cyanide would then penetrate through the clothing and be absorbed through the pores of the skin. And over the course of the next several hours, the individual would die.
Jeez Louise. Wow. Let's play that reverse again. Here's the forwards.
And they go to sleep. No shit. As long as he's dead, that's the bottom line. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? No matter how it was done, I mean, I know guys that went to sleep and never woke up again. I mean,
Jeez. I'm here to make the trouble and abuse.
All right, you man, I guess I'll go and abuse.
Wow.
All right, you man, I guess I'll go and abuse.
What can you say?
All right, you man, I guess I'll go and abuse.
Well, what you can say is don't let anyone spill a drink on you, huh?
Yeah, really?
Exactly.
Oh, here's another one that's classic. Here's the forwards.
Wrap them in layer after layer of plastic bags and material, and then deposit the body many, many miles from the murder scene.
What is it to dispose of something? You throw it away. You throw it anywhere. It all depends. If you don't want it found or if you want it found. If you want it found, it doesn't matter. You just leave it there.
He says, I foul with your life now.
No, we throw knife now.
Wow.
No, we throw knife now.
Interesting.
No, we throw knife now.
What does he mean?
I
fell with your life. What does he mean?
Foul. F-O-U-L.
Oh,
foul.
I foul. All right.
I'm messing your life up.
I got it.
You know, the interesting thing about all of these reversals is how different they are from the political ones. And you're clearly dealing with mobsters and criminals. I mean, you are with politicians as well, but
it's a more elegant type of criminal.
Yeah.
Right. Liars are liars. These guys, they didn't seem to lie much. Politicians lie all the time. Maybe that accounts for some differences in the reversing.
Yeah, that could very well be so. Yeah.
It's very interesting because with these guys, you see them coming. They make no qualms about what they're doing and who they are. With the politicians, you know, they say
snakes.
One thing and do something complete. Exactly. Thank
They're
you.
snakes.
You're right.
All right, David, go ahead.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Okay. So here's another one. Let's just here's the forwards.
I was raised Catholic.
He says you're fucked.
Still fucked. Still fucked.
Wow.
Now, who is this again? The same guy?
Yeah.
Same guy.
The Iceman?
Yeah, the Iceman.
All right.
Yeah, here he is again.
I could be anywhere and if somebody humiliated me, I would think nothing of hitting them with a cue stick. In an instant.
And he says, I'd get so angry.
It's not if they're angry. It's not if they're angry. It's not if they're angry.
He's a raging psychopath. No question.
Yep.
None.
Yep.
No bounds. No cares. Where were those recordings made? Do you know, Christian?
This was, I believe, an A&E interview, and then the first one that David played was an actual FBI recording. The agent who busted him, he was undercover, and this was a recorded the very first one that David played was the conversation between the FBI agent that took him down and Richard Kuklinski. So the sources are from, I believe, A&E and some FBI recordings.
What happened to Kuklinski? What happened to him? Okay,
well, the FBI agent ended up they ended up catching him and pretty much red-handed. And of course, he was convicted, multiple life sentences, and he, at the end of the day, I don't think they ever determined how many people he actually killed. And when he was asked, I think he said in his own words, and I quote, my estimate is over 200. Now, those are his own words.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I mean, he died in Jersey, and he was Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because his brother was in the same prison as him, who his brother had raped and killed a little girl, and so it ran in the family, and he was brought up
psychopath, bad genes.
Yeah, that's right.
Now that's interesting. That brings up a interesting reversal that uses the metaphor curse. And curse in reverse speech is a metaphor for handed down genetic traits from family to family. So listen to this.
So I told him he could have a half hour to pray to God. And if God could come down and change the circumstances, he'd have that time. But God never showed up.
Jeez.
And he never changed the circumstances.
This guy's too much.
This is like out of a movie. Come on. Al Pacino couldn't deliver it better than that. That's the real deal. That's not Hollywood.
There was somebody begging. He's talking about a situation in particular where there was someone who was begging for his life.
Yeah.
And he said, I tell you what. He said, I'll make you a deal. You pray to your God, and I'll give you 30 minutes. And if he, just like he said it. Yeah.
Wow.
Russell says, that's my cursed. It's smashed. Do I mean it?
Snaps my gusset in the do any.
Huh.
Snaps my gusset in the do any.
Yeah, it's all there.
Snaps my gusset in the do any.
Now, curse, like I said, is a metaphor in reverse speech, and it's handed down genetic dysfunctions from family to family. So, if his brothers got the same thing too, then I'd like to know about his mum and dad and who they were.
His father was a raging alcoholic that would beat the ever-loving snot out of his kids, especially Richard. And
he spent his life trying to get even with his dad, taking it out on other people. So he had no problem. Mm-hmm. Not to say he wasn't twisted to begin with, but yeah, that's pretty grim. These people are not. This is very instructive, and I try to tell listeners out there, and it does sound a little melodramatic, but when you're out and about, dear friends, monsters walk amongst you.
Oh yeah.
Understand that. Never forget it. Never take your eyes off your children. Never assume anything, and you can't tell a book by its cover.
Evil is out there, and there are villains. And Jeff, I couldn't have said it better. Eloquently stated. I mean, you couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, that is it right there. Right there.
All right, here's another one on Kuklinski.
When I was a young man, I found out that if you hurt somebody, they'll leave you alone.
Huh. By my flame, wise up.
Världna fem laser.
Huh.
Världna fem laser.
Yeah, there we go.
Världna fem laser.
I hear the L in there, but it's almost fame. By my fame. Fame would work, but I think the L is in there.
Let's do it again.
Världna fem laser.
You know the L's there.
Världna fem laser.
You're almost fame.
Världna fem laser.
Just almost fame. Wow.
He
Close.
says, you know what it is? He says F-A and then L-A-M-E. By my flame. He started to say fame in reverse, but then it came out flame. Listen again, you'll hear it. It's flame.
All right, here we go.
Världna fem laser.
Huh.
Världna fem laser.
Yeah, I hear what you're hearing. Yeah.
Hear it?
Världna fem laser.
Of course, the wise up is in direct connection to what he says
Yep,
forwards.
yep,
which
yep.
We'll play the forwards again.
When I was a young man, I found out that if you hurt somebody, they'll leave you alone.
By my flame, or you say anger, temper, or if it's fame, by exerting himself.
Right. Yeah, they both work.
Yeah, so here's a reversal.
Världna fem laser.
Världna fem laser. Världna fem laser.
Yeah, there you go. Well. All right, what haven't I played on Kuklinski?
You got about 6-7 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I got one here. I don't know what it means, so maybe Christian can tell us.
They found a few people sitting on park benches, I'm sure. As a matter of fact, I know they have.
Sitting as in after death?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Postmortem. Yes.
And here it says, I'm not your phantom.
He says their phantom.
I'm not their phantom. Yeah, let's play it again. Oh yeah, you're right.
No, he's not a phantom to them. He's the real deal. He wasn't an illusion. Right. He wasn't a phantom. He killed him.
Right.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I got one last reversals on Kuklinski. Here we go.
I told him I wasn't happy that he wasn't going to pay me. He had the attitude that nobody could hurt him. I think he was wrong. Anyway, he never saw Christmas.
Jeez.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Hollywood, this could not be any more realistic in Hollywood, and this is the real deal. Jeez. Play that again, David. That's too creepy. Now, that's the end of an A&E or some produced documentary. They've got a sound in there, but this is absolutely amazing.
Okay, so here's the forwards.
I told him I wasn't happy that he wasn't going to pay me. He had the attitude that nobody could hurt him. I think he was wrong. Anyway, he never saw Christmas.
Yes, Louise. And backwards he says, quite casually, seem so cross.
I'm so cross.
Oh, no, I'm so cross. Sorry.
I'm so cross.
Yeah.
I think that's putting it very lightly.
I think that's the understatement of the night, yes.
I think it is too.
It's like saying I'm a little miffed. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm a little miffed. Yeah, I know. Never saw Christmas. Okay, so let's play the best. Let's play the one I started off with. This is the sums up Kuklinski.
And they go to sleep. No shit. As long as he's dead, that's the bottom line. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? No matter how it was done. I mean, I know guys that went to sleep and never woke up again. I mean,
And I'm here to make the trouble and abuse. Well,
Very
there
good.
it is.
Did Christian, did you find these reversals yourself?
No, I found them.
No,
David did?
Yes.
Yeah. These you've never heard anything like this before, David, have you? This is bizarre. I mean, these are really weird people.
Yeah, well, this is a whole new field to me on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm letting the cat out of the bag here, but
Well, don't,
maybe
you
if
don't.
I am. Yeah, okay. Well, Christian and I are on a collaborative effort to put all these together. That's all I'll say. So,
I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. You're on. That's good. Very good. How many more do we have? Are we going to run out of time here too quickly?
I'm done. I'm done with Gotti and Klusinski. They're all the reversals I've got.
Right.
So,
Well, perfect timing. We got just a minute or so left. Yeah. This is really eerie. This is the third program like this, but you never would guess because of Hollywood. You'd never guess that these people really are as insane or evil as they were.
yeah.
You get this feeling, maybe even in the darkest heart there's a little kindness, and maybe they weren't so bad. We tend to glamorize, and romanticize this thing. These people were cold, totally stone cold killers.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
You can see it in their reversals. There's no remorse. There's no guilt. It's just what it is.
David, it's doing business, remember? It's just business.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll not forget that for a while. Yeah. I think I know where you're going with those, and I definitely would do that. It's a fantastic series.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow. All right, Christian, thank you very much. Wonderful.
Oh, my pleasure,
Wonderful.
Jeff. Thank you.
Amazing.
It's a pleasure.
David, I'm going to give you an hour off, so don't fall asleep on us. And
no, I won't fall asleep on you. I'll be
we'll
here.
Be back. Wow. Thank you, David.
Right.
Very good. Wonderful work.
Okay.
All right.
Good on you. Okay. See you.
Okay. We'll be right back. David will be back in 1 hour. Next hour, Joel Skousen is up with us for some political analysis. Next.